Looking for the best ways to save money on hearing aids without sacrificing quality? Then you're watching the right video. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, and in this video, I'm talking about the 5 best ways to save money on hearing aids. Hearing aid affordability can be a problem for many individuals in the United States. Unlike other countries like the United Kingdom that covers the cost of basic hearing aid technology for their citizens that is paid by tax dollars, the United States does not offer any universal coverage for hearing aid technology or audiologic services. And when you consider all of the other health risks associated with untreated hearing loss, such as accelerated rates of cognitive decline, dementia, social isolation, depression, increased risk of falling, and accelerated decline of your hearing, going without hearing aids is an extremely bad idea. Especially when you consider that the additional costs of all of these other health risks significantly outweigh the cost of hearing aids. But until the federal government figures out a way to cover the cost of basic hearing aid treatment for its citizens, you're going to have to figure out a way to pay for those hearing aids yourself. And that's why I wanted to share these 5 ways that you can save money on hearing aids without necessarily having to sacrifice quality of hearing treatment or how well you hear. But before I do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It is greatly appreciated. And while you're at it, let me know down in the comment section if you have any additional ways to save money on hearing aids. Okay, so the first way to save money on hearing aids is to consider over-the-counter hearing aids. Over-the-counter hearing aids, or OTC hearing aids, were officially established as a new category of hearing aids in October of 2022 by the FDA. Over the course of 2023, they accounted for 1% of overall hearing aid sales in the United States. They are intended for adults with perceived mild to moderate hearing loss, and the price range can be anywhere between $250 for a pair up to $3,000 for a pair. While they will not help you if you have a moderately severe to profound level of hearing loss, they may help if you have a mild to moderate level of hearing loss. Just keep in mind that the quality of over-the-counter hearing aids can be extremely variable, and you may get benefit from one brand but not from another brand. You also have to make sure that you set up those over-the-counter hearing aids to amplify properly for your level of hearing loss, since everybody's hearing loss is different. Most audiology clinics can help support you with over-the-counter hearing aids if you need some additional help. Just be expected to pay an additional fee for their services. That being said, for some individuals, this may be a great way for you to save money on hearing aids. The second way to save money on hearing aids is to go with a lower technology level of a prescription hearing aid. If you have anything more than a mild to moderate level of hearing loss, or if over-the-counter hearing aids just aren't cutting it for you, you're probably going to have to go with a prescription level hearing aid. The cost of prescription hearing aids has to do with a lot of different variables, including where you live, what services are included in your hearing aid purchase, the quality of those services, and the hearing aid technology level that you go with. Every reputable major hearing aid manufacturer offers different levels of hearing aid technology at different price points. Oftentimes, it will range anywhere between 2 different technology levels and 5 different technology levels. Each time you go down in technology level, it takes features and customizations away from your hearing care professional when they're attempting to optimize the performance of those devices for you. However, some research does suggest that even lower technology levels that are fit and programmed properly by a hearing care professional can get you a similar amount of benefit as a higher level of technology. And the price difference between a top-tier hearing aid and a bottom-tier hearing aid can be thousands of dollars. Some hearing aid clinics will even have a budget prescription hearing aid option that includes professional services at a price point that is lower than over-the-counter hearing aids. Now, if you're not able to use an over-the-counter hearing aid, or you're not comfortable dropping down in hearing aid technology level, the third way to save money on hearing aids is to go to a hearing aid clinic that unbundles the cost of the hearing aids from their professional services. Unbundling is becoming more and more popular among hearing aid clinics because it allows you to purchase your hearing aids without having to purchase all of your professional services at the exact same time. This way you can buy a higher tier of technology, pay for the fitting of that technology, but not having to pay for all of the other services related to those hearing aids until the time that you actually need them. Effectively, this spreads the cost of your treatment out over the course of a number of years rather than having to spend all of this money up front with a bundled clinic. It's important to note that this allows you to save money up front without necessarily sacrificing the quality of care down the road. You also don't have to pay for any services that aren't actually being performed over the course of the lifetime of your hearing aids. Just keep in mind, if you're the type of person who needs a lot of care with your hearing aids and you know that from experience, going with a bundled hearing aid option will probably save you money over the long term. Now, the fourth great way to save money on hearing aids is to just improve the performance of the hearing aids that you may already have by using the Redux Home Dryer from Redux, today's video sponsor. Moisture is the enemy of electronics, and even a small amount of moisture in the wrong place inside of your hearing aid can result in a significant decrease in performance. In fact, moisture data collected from nearly 130,000 hearing aid treatments revealed that 98% of hearing aids tested contained harmful levels of moisture that could impact their performance. The data also showed that removing 0.5 microliters of moisture, which is equivalent to 1/100th of a drop of water, improved the performance of 73% of hearing aids tested. Removing between 1 and 3 microliters of moisture improved 78% of devices tested, and removing greater than 3 microliters of moisture improved 84% of devices tested. And data from Purdue University revealed a recovery rate of 67% of dead hearing aids that were brought back to life, preventing expensive hearing aid manufacturer repairs. And yes, I know that that data was from Purdue University, and it would be much better if it was from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, but you know what? I'll take it anyway. The Redux Home Dryer is actually the only at-home dryer that has been proven by research to remove 100% of moisture from your hearing aids, which allows your hearing aids to perform at the highest level possible. All you have to do is remove the lid, place your hearing aids down in the drying chamber, put the lid back on, hit that start button, and let the Redux Home go to work, removing all of the moisture from the delicate electronic components inside of your hearing aids. Once all of the moisture has been removed from your hearing aids, it will stop automatically, and it will actually tell you how much moisture was removed inside of the Redux app. It will even give you a recommendation for how often you should be dehydrating your hearing aids to keep them performing at their best. Honestly, maintaining and improving the performance of your existing hearing aids is probably the single most effective way to save money on hearing aid treatment. When you think about it, the savings from just one recovered hearing aid, which means a hearing aid that was not working, that you revive and make working again, can save you hundreds if not thousands of dollars when you consider the repair costs from a hearing aid manufacturer for an out-of-warranty device and it preventing you from having to purchase a new pair of hearing aids before you're ready to. Now, if you would like to check out the Redux Home for yourself, I will have it linked in the description of this video with a nice discount code for you to save you some additional money there as well. Of course, if you don't already have hearing aids and none of these other options are affordable for you, you do have a fifth option, which is to consider going the Medicaid route, the vocational rehabilitation route, or the nonprofit charity route. Medicaid, not to be confused with Medicare, is a state-funded program that most states have that will help individuals who cannot afford medical care to actually get hearing aids. Now, these Medicaid programs are income-based, so if you have an income that exceeds a certain threshold level, you are not going to be able to qualify for the hearing aids and hearing aid related services that these programs would cover. If you do qualify for Medicaid, I would check in to see what hearing aids you qualify for and what services come along with those hearing aids in your state. Now, if it is not an issue of affordability for you and you just don't want to pay for hearing aids, you are not going to be able to use the Medicaid route either. Vocational rehabilitation is also typically at this state level, so you do have to check with your own state, but they will typically offer hearing aids or at least a discount rate on hearing aids for individuals who are still working or who are trying to seek employment. States realize that you are worth way more money if you're working based on the amount of tax revenue that they bring in from from you. And if all they have to do is help supply you with hearing aid treatment to keep you employed, they are happy to do so. And since being able to hear significantly increases your ability to work and significantly increases your earning potential, states are typically very happy to make sure that you have hearing aids if you're of working age. But let's assume that you make too much money to qualify for Medicaid and you are not trying to go back to work, so you do not qualify for any vocational rehabilitation. This leaves you with the only other option, which is trying to find a non-for-profit charity organization to get your hearing aids from. For instance, Grace Hearing Center in Tucson, Arizona, started by Dr. Judy Hutch, offers hearing aids to individuals in her community at a price point that they can afford. While there is a qualification process to get hearing aids from these charitable organizations, if you do qualify, not only can they get you hearing aids, but even more important, they can make sure that you get those hearing aids fit and programmed properly so you actually hear better with them. And Grace Hearing Center is just one of many non-for-profit clinics across the United States. You just have to find out which one is in your area. Just like vision care and dental care, Medicare is not going to cover hearing aids anytime soon, which is kind of unfortunate considering the amount of people in the United States who have hearing loss, and we are talking about tens of millions of people. But unlike many other countries, the United States is one of the best countries to actually have hearing loss in because you have so many other options available to you to get affordable hearing aid treatment. All you have to do is a little bit of research to find out which one of these options is best for you and get your hearing loss treated.